Stampers, this is Dawn from DawnStampingThoughts.net, and today we're going to make this beautiful Halloween bag, and it's actually a bag-a-lope, and what that is, it's a bag that is made from an envelope that looks like this. So let me show you the envelopes. Now this is the envelopes that Stampin' Up sells. You get 42 a pack, and I think that breaks down to about 16 cents each. And then for the inside of my bag, I'm holding some pumpkin spice Hershey Kisses. Oh my gosh, those are so yummy. But these are the 3x6 gusseted cellophane bags. And that's what those look like. So let's go ahead and get started. We're going to make the handle, and then I'm also going to sponge this envelope. I know you've seen me sponge a lot, so I'm going to fast forward through a lot of the sponging. But we're going to make the handle and the bag. So let's go ahead and get started. Okay, so you're going to need a piece of Whisper White, and this piece is cut at 3/4 of an inch by 8, and that's going to be for the handle. And then, like I said, we're using a Whisper White envelope. These also come in Crumb Cake and Very Vanilla. So let's grab our paper trimmer. Okay, so first we're going to score at 1 inch. Let me grab my bone folder. So scoring at 1 inch on 2 sides and then the bottom. Okay, and then we're going to go to the top and we're going to cut that off at 1 inch. Okay, so it should look like that now. Okay, then I'm going to take some fast fuse and I'm going to adhere this envelope flap down. And I'm using fast fuse because you'll notice, at least on these envelopes, the adhesive part of the envelope does not go all the way to the edge. So that part kind of sticks up. So we're just going to go ahead and adhere that whole flap down. Just like that. I think I got some on that edge. Okay. All right, now we're going to go ahead and flip it over. Now we're going to start sponging. So what I did is I went ahead and punched out a circle with the 1 inch circle punch. And I just put some repositionable adhesive on the back side. And we're just going to place this right onto the envelope between these two score lines. Okay, so we're going to be using 2 colors, Tangerine Tango and the Daffodil Delight. If you stay to the end of the video, I'll show you how to re-ink these ink pads, and then also show you another cute way to use this cute little bag. All right, so we're going to use the Daffodil Delight and the Tangerine Tango, and I went ahead and re-inked those already, so the sponging will go a lot faster. So I need a piece of scrap. All right, so we got our sponges. We're going to start with the Daffodil Delight. So I'm going to go ahead and fast forward through all the sponging, but I wanted to give you a heads up. So when we get to the Tangerine Tango part, I'm going to fold on the score lines and I'm going to sponge on both sides. So you get that edge on the envelope, all right? So let me go ahead and start with the Daffodil Delight. And I'm also not going to sponge below this line, at least just a little tiny bit below. Okay, so let me show you the bottom of mine. Okay, so let's go ahead and do that. Okay, so our bag and our handle are both sponged. So now we're going to do some stamping, and I'm going to use the Memento ink. This is the Tuxedo Black, and these are the two stamp sets we're using. Halloween Scares and also Spooky Fun. And we're going to use the house and the tree and then also the fence first. So I'm going to go ahead and stamp our house. And I'm using this score line at the very bottom as my guide to put where the house and the tree and the fence and all that kind of stuff are going to get stamped. Okay, so hopefully without putting my head in the camera, I'm hoping I can stamp this pretty good. Okay, then we're going to go ahead and stamp the tree over to the left. And I'm going to stamp it right across that score line so it goes over to the side of the bag. Just like that. Now we're going to stamp the fence over here. Okay, now let's bring in some of the other images. We're going to stamp the witch. Let me take my moon off. Isn't that awesome? So we're going to stamp this cute little witch over top of that moon. I think we're done with the house. All right, now we're going to stamp a bunch of bats all over, and then also the sides. You don't want to forget to stamp the sides. Okay, now we're going to go ahead and flip it over. Now we're going to do the back side and the other side of the bag. So we're going to go ahead and stamp another tree along this side over here. Okay, then we're going to take the little gravestones and we're going to stamp those along the bottom edge. Then take the ghost and we're going to stamp this like it's coming from the gravestones, but we're going to go over to the side so it kind of carries over. Okay, then bring back in our fence. Okay, maybe a fence over on this side too. Yeah, because it's on the house. Guess right there. Okay, now we're going to stamp the trick or treat right up in the center. Okay, and then stamp more bats. Okay, now we're going to bring in the handle. We're going to stamp Happy Halloween a few times across that with a couple bats. Okay, all right, so I think that's all the stamping. So let's go ahead and move these stamps. Okay, now we're going to go ahead and put tear and tape along both of the ends. All right, so we're going to go ahead and make our bag envelope now. So what you're going to do is you're going to open up the envelope, and where this score line is, right in the center, put your hand up in there, and you're going to just start like tapping to form the bottom of your box or your bag. And then right where that comes up to that score line there, that's where you're going to make your little V of a crease, just like that. Oh my gosh, it's so cute. And then once again on this side. How awesome is that? Oh my gosh, and it's a bag. Love it. All right, so now we're going to go ahead and take our bone folder. We're just gonna make these edges really nice and crisp. Now you can use your tear and tape, but I'm just gonna go ahead and use Fast Fuse for the sake of the video. Put your hand inside and then fold that over, making sure it adheres down really nice. Do the other side. Okay. Okay, so there's the treat bag. Oh my gosh, don't you love it? All right, so now this would be the time to add your handle. Remember, we put tear and tape, and I would just put that inside along the edge. Let me show you my other one here. I'm going to actually put this on the bag, but I wanted to show you what else you could do with this bag. So you just put adhesive on your handle and then set it on the inside, and then that makes your cute little handle. And you put candy inside. And then this is the Peekaboo Peach 3/8 ruched ribbon is what I used for the little bow. Okay, but now look here, you can take a little tea light, turn it on, and set this in your bag. Oh my gosh, it's so awesome. And I have a binder clip here that Stampin' Up sells. These are the gold binder clips. And I'm just gonna clip that shut. And what I did is I just stamped the Happy Halloween and I attached that with the dimensional on the clip, and then I put a little baker's twine bow. But let me turn the light off so you can see it. It's still probably not going to show up very good, but oh my gosh, it's so cute. You can make a bunch of these and just set them on your mantle or on your table. How cute. Okay, so there's that one with the tea light. And then you can add the handle to make it a little goodie bag. Okay, so now we're going to go ahead and ink our ink pads. Let me show you that really quick. I think I did a video on that a while ago, but I wanted to show you again. So here's my daffodil re-inker, and then I have my daffodil ink pad. And what you're going to do is you're just going to take your refill, shake it up, and then just drop a few drops of ink onto the pad. And then I just take a spoon and I manipulate the ink down into the pad. Just moving it around. So that's how you re-ink your ink pad. Super easy. Then you just take a baby wipe and wipe the spoon. Then just keep that in your craft room so when you re-ink your ink pads, you have it. Okay, so one other thing, the ink refills and the ink pads all come in a collection. Let me show you those. So this is the set of ink pads. These are the Brights, and you can get them in a set. So you get all 10 ink pads, and they're all individually wrapped, but they're in this really nice box. So you get all the colors, which are the Daffodil Delight and the Tangerine Tango are in this collection. And then you can also purchase the ink refills in the collection. So you get all 10 ink refills too. Let me show you that. Okay, so there's, this has got to be Daffodil Delight. Yep, Daffodil Delight, Bermuda Bay. So you get all 10 ink refills that go with your ink pads. So now when you buy the ink refills in a collection, you're going to save $5 compared to buying them individually. And then the ink pads, you can buy them in a collection and you'll save $10.50 instead of buying them individually. Okay, so that's a quick tip for you. Okay, so here's our cute little bag of Lopes again. Okay, thanks for stopping by. We'll see you later. Bye.